All right, welcome along. My name's Bosh. This is Bosh's Ableton Beginner Bits. And today we're going to be taking a look at Ableton's new stem separator. Now, this one's going to get all the dubbers excited because it means we can take our favourite tracks, load them into Ableton, split them into stems, and dub them, basically. So I'm going to take a look at it using 3 different tracks, sort of 3 different eras of reggae and dub-styled music, see how it does splitting each one, and then I'm just going to do a little demo dubbing each one. Now, before we get into it, I always have to tell you about buymeacoffee.com/BoshDub, so you can go there and support this channel for the price of a coffee. But what is more appreciated is channel interaction. Like, share, subscribe, comment, watch all videos, all that business helps get these videos to other people like you who might want to see them. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is looking at Ableton's stem separator. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that it only splits into 4 tracks. So you've got bass, drums, vocals, and everything else. Now, that's not bad. And to be fair, that's how Tubby used to do it. As far as I'm aware, he had a 4-track mixer. So this is what he had to deal with. So this is kind of where we're at the moment. 4 tracks of dub stems. It's provided by Moises, as far as I'm aware. And from what I've tried out so far, it's pretty good. I'm impressed, to be fair. I don't think I'd be using it for my live project. I'd maybe use it to extract vocals, because the vocal extraction's not bad. But again, I don't think it's something I'd be using personally in my live set. It's fun to play around with, though. I'll say that much. So this comes in Ableton 12.3. This is another thing I need to tell you before we start. So if you've got any version lower than 12.3, you're not going to have the stem separation in there. Now, all you need to do, it's simple, is load in a track. I've got Everything Crash by the Ethiopians. Let's just have a listen. All right, so all you need to do, once you've got your track loaded in, I took the warp off, because I've got auto warp on mine. So I took warp off, made sure it was as it's supposed to be, standard length, no, messing, no warping, basically. Right-click on the track, go to Separate Stems to New Audio Track, or New Audio Tracks. Click that. Now this window comes up. So we've got vocals, drums, bass, and others. Now I'm assuming if you just tick one of these, then you're just going to get that stem. So if you just click vocals, you're just going to get a vocal extraction. I don't know if that changes. I wouldn't imagine it affects or changes how, if you get a better vocal by doing the vocal on its own. I don't think that applies, because when you click separate, it does 4 processes separately. So you can see that you can select your stems here. Others just does everything in the mid-range, basically. Any instruments that sit in the mid-range that's not drums, bass, or vocals, that's what that's going to give you. I've not tried the high-speed option. I've only tried the high-quality option, because I'm assuming that we all want higher quality stems. We're not really bothered about speed. And then you just click separate. Yep. So this will start. You can see it says 1 of 4 there. Separating vocals, Ethiopians, everything crash. Now I'm going to cancel that, because I've already done it. I've done a bit of an art attack, and we've got a here's one I made earlier situation going on. So let me mute the other tracks, because I've done this with 3 tracks in total, just so we can get a sound of how it deals with different audio sources. Let's mute the original audio. So what you'll get is a group track labeled vocals, drums, bass, others. And as you can see here, we've got these 4 audio files. So let's just go through them and see how they sound. Vocals first.
Look there now, everything crashed. Look there now, everything crashed. Firemen strike, watermen strike, telephone company too. Down to the policemen do.
Let's skip forward a bit.
Walk on by the morning, can't come good evening. Whoa. Every day carrying bucket to the well. One day the bucket.
Okay, so that's not a bad vocal extraction, if you ask me. You can still hear it's ever so slightly muffled. There's still artifacts in there. We haven't got to the point where we're getting a fully clean vocal, but for an indoor stem extractor, that's not bad if you ask me. Let's listen to the drums. Now, in my opinion, they leave a little to be desired. Not bad for an old recording, but not amazing, really. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad drum record. Like, considering it's an old track, I don't think that's too bad. Let's try the bass. Okay, not bad. And let's try the others. So bear in mind, the others is all the other instruments that it's decided anything apart from vocals, bass, and drums. Let's get to a bit with the trumpets. That's not bad. Now, that's the most full one, and I'd say that's the one where you can hear the most little artifacts and things from other sort of sources, but a little bit of the vocal in there I heard. Overall, though, again, considering that's an old track, I'm quite impressed. So let's jump onto the next track, actually. I'm not going to dub just yet. So let's open this one. Next one, Perfect Gidimani, Handcart Boy. So again, let's listen to the track as a full.
She get one heap of love and joy from the Handcart Boy, and the same little bubble you to a name fits right. On the market, me juggle pepper and pop child. She never know she woulda then we die. She get one heap of love and joy from the Handcart Boy, and the...
Okay, so let's go through and I've done the same thing. I've done the right click, separate new audio tracks. You've got your separate things, high quality, separate, and it gives you again a grouped track with the vocals, drums, bass, and other stems in. So let's go through again and have a listen to these. So this one's a little bit more modern recording. So in my opinion, you would expect the separation to be better because we've got better production techniques. So yeah, this one should be, in my opinion, a bit more impressive. But let's see what we've got. Vocals first.
She get one heap of love and joy from the Handcart Boy, and the same little bubble you to a name fits right.
Not
On
bad.
the market, me juggle pepper and pop child. She never know she woulda then we die. She get one heap of love and joy from the Handcart Boy, and the same little bubble you to a name fits right. Round the market, me juggle pop child. She never know she woulda then we die. I'm trotting from the mountains, but me foot up pure red dot.
Yeah, not bad at all. Again, what I find, it seems to take a little bit of the top end off the vocal. That sounds a little bit muffled still. But overall, not a bad extraction in my opinion. Let's try the drums. Now, that's definitely, in my opinion, that's definitely better than the first one. Yeah, I think that's better than the first one. Let's try the bass. Yeah, that's quite good. Now, what I've noticed with the bass separation is it's giving you mostly sub. You're not gonna get the like that's a bass guitar. You're not gonna get like the dum, 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 like the top end sort of the plucking sort of sound, finger sound. You're not gonna get that in the bass line. That ends up getting put in with the others. So you might be able to hear it in this one, but we'll go on to the others track now. That's got all the other instruments in it. And you'll see, you can hear the top end of the bass line. Yeah. Yeah, so you're getting like, you're getting like the very top end of the bass line in the others section. So that's the only thing that I'd say about that. And so far, it seems like the others track is the one where you're getting the most bleed from all the other parts, which kind of makes sense. I'm not going to like rag on them for that. It kind of makes sense that it would do that because it's pulled the drums, the bass, and the vocal, and now it's just kind of got this middle band of information that he's trying to get all these other crossed over instruments out of. So again, I don't think that's bad at all. Now, let's go on to the last one, which is Rusko, Sound Guy Is My Target. I'm going to play the original tune for you. All right, I'm definitely not getting monetization for this video, but you win some, you lose some. Right, so again, let's go through this. Let's go for the vocal.
You see me with a piece in my hand, a sound guy is my target. Oh, well, then you see me with a piece in my hand, sound guy is my target. Oh, well.
Good. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this tune in particular is because it's a dubstep tune. So it's heavier on the bass. The bass is being pushed. Now, in my opinion, that affects how the vocal sounds. This sounds the most muffled to me out of all the vocals that we've had so far. So I'd take that into consideration. If a tune's very heavy on the bass, it seems to affect how well it can extract the other parts of the music, which again makes sense if you think about it. If you've got loads of bass, it's going to mess around with the frequencies of the other bits that you're trying to extract. So again, I'm not going to rag on anyone for that. I think that's done a decent job. Let's listen to the drums. Very good drum separation. But again, with the dubstep track, the drums and the bass are going to be the things that are getting pushed. Yep, I'm happy with that. Let's try the bass line. Now, this one's got a little bit more slightly higher frequency information in it than the other ones had. You know what? I think that's the best one so far because it's retained a little bit of the original bass's like mid sound as well. So that's quite cool, that. And finally, the everything else. Right. Interesting. So let me just go back to the drums. So you hear how it's picked up the reverb from the snare. Interesting. In my opinion, this is probably, if you think about it, the worst result that we've had out of them in regards to the whole track. Because this is a modern tune and because everything's been pushed and mastered a bit more and compressed, you can see in the waveform here on the original tune, squashed like a brick. Let's just go up to Ethiopians, loose, yeah? So I think that's quite an interesting thing to find. A more modern, squashed, compressed, mastered track seems to generally have the worst result when it comes to the instruments and the vocal, just the extraction in general. The drums are good, but we've got a lot of drum spillover from the reverb in the Others track, and the vocals, to me, sounds a bit more muffled as well. Interesting. I thought we were going to get the best result from that one, but apparently not. Right, so that's the overview of how it does different age of tracks. Like I'm sure Ethiopians is 80s, is Handcart Boy 90s, early 2000s this one. I haven't checked, I'm just freestyling here. And then Sound Guy is my target, mid to late noughties, 2008, I think, for Sound Guy is my target. So yeah, very interesting. If you ask me, the middle one is the one where we've had the best result. Modern-ish track, but not squashed to buggery in the mastering phase. Right, interesting. So we've done that bit. Now the bit that everyone wants to get to is the actual dubbing. So what I've done is set up dub sends and returns. Let me just check. And I'm just going to have a little play around with each one. So this one, the Ethiopians, Everything Crash. Not bad, I like it. Nice. All right. Cool. I'm not going to do too long on each one. No need to do that. That's not bad, that. Let's try the Perfect Giddimani tune.
She get one of my love.
Now, I must say, because all these tracks are different tempos, I haven't tempo matched my delay or anything, so that delay probably sounds a bit naff, but I just threw it in for the demo. Let's see if we can adapt.
Admire when I glorify the king. What I am thankful for, I'm ready for the superstar.
Yeah, cool. Not bad at all. Let me reset and let's go to the Rusco tune. Yeah, cool. Overall, I think this is a good thing. I think this is a good little feature that they've put in here. To sum it up, it does all right across all tracks. It seems like a sort of clearly mixed but not heavily like compressed tune. So like band music, modernish band music, it's probably going to work the best for. It seems like electronic stuff. The bass and drums are a bit heavy and it sort of gets mixed up a little bit. The older things, obviously, the sound's a bit more frequency-wise. We're not frequency separating as much with an old tune. So I feel like you get a little bit more bleed in certain places. But overall, I think that's really cool. Again, you need Ableton Live 12.3 to be able to get this. If you've got another version, get yourself upgraded. Really fun to play around with. The only thing I think I'd be using it for really, for me personally, would be vocal extraction. Because I like to take a vocal and then build my own rhythm track around it. So I think it's going to be really good for that, doing that in the DAW. Oh, and it takes roughly about 25 minutes, I've found. So each one of these tracks it does each part separately. So it'll do the vocals, then it'll do the drums, then it'll do the bass, then it'll do the others section. Overall, whole process, 25 to, let's say 20 to 30 minutes. It's around 25, give or take, but I'd say between 20 and 30 minutes is a good sort of aim for how long it's going to take to extract a tune. So don't be rushing in trying to do it and think, oh yeah, I'm going to get straight into dubbing this, and then you've got to sit there and wait for half an hour. Just be aware, it does take time, but it's good. And that's it. I think I'm going to leave that there. My name is Bosh. This has been Bosh's Beginner Bits, looking at stem separation in Ableton 12.3. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.